So I'm here with my cousin Huey Walker. This is a trip we do every year here to Truman County, Georgia, and I wanted to talk to him a little bit about this land that we hunt on and how many acres and such that it is. But I thought it would be real interesting to some of our viewers because this is a relatively small piece of land, but every year we have multiple shooters, not only on camera, but that we are able to kill off this piece of property. So Huey, about how many acres are we hunting here?
When you weigh in, Stephen, when you weigh in the private land, we're typically looking at a little bit over 300 acres between our personal private land, and we have some neighbors who lease their land to us as well. And the way it's set up is we basically have two different tracts. We have this tract here around my home place, and then about a mile away we have another tract. And, but combined, we're looking at 300 plus acres.
And so this is property that would it be your grandpa originally owned or homesteaded, or how?
Yeah, so my grandfather owned the other tract that we're talking about first, and I believe that he bought that land in the 40s over there. And our home place here, he actually bought in 1952.
Wow.
And when he bought the land, it was this home, and it was 75 acres, which is the field that I own just here behind my house. And later, my dad bought this land that's across the road from us, and that was 53 acres, and that was in the 70s. So that gives us about 125 acres that we own. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have about 100 plus acres that we have neighboring families who allow us to hunt
there. As far as in this county, this piece of property right here really produces more shooters that are what we call mounters than pretty much any piece of property in Truman County. Would you say that and we started, Hugh started kind of, I guess, trying to be particular about what deer he shot how many years ago?
I would say, Stephen, I would say that even back in the 90s, we were very interested in the trophy hunting. But I was not really educated.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly not saying that I'm a pro on it now. But I think we've learned a lot through the years. And I think that if you really look at the past 15 years, and you look at our successes that we've had in the woods here, and the deer that we've been able to take out, and I think that it's just extremely evident that we have started doing some things right.
For sure.
And we've even seen that come to fruition a lot more in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
3 to 4 years.
3 to 4, yeah.
And I don't think it's a coincidence. I think there are quite a few factors that play into it. Again, it's not that we're doing anything I think that's magical. I think that we have always been willing to evaluate and always be willing to make things better. And willing to hear new ideas. And I think when you combine that with the fact that we have all become more selective in deer, I think
for sure.
I think the one thing that probably plays as much into all this as anything is that we learned that it's not about putting deer on the wall. It's about putting smiles on the faces. And I think what that's created is, you would agree with this, 15, 20 years ago, if we were seeing a 2.5-year-old acorn, we were putting it down.
Yeah.
And it's okay. We were very happy.
Right, right.
And if a deer quit making you happy, we got a problem.
Right.
So,
for sure.
but I think that we all, just through time and through each hunter who participates in this yearly hunt,
Yeah.
have realized that, you know what? I think I'm understanding that if I let this deer go, next year and the next
Yeah.
year, we really may have some.
Yeah, have a
And
potential mountain.
that's right, and we're really starting to see, you know, when you're getting deer that are weighing 185 to 200 pounds, which we killed 3 or 4 this year,
Yeah.
that size. And in Truckee County, Georgia, that is a really big deer.
Yeah.
We have one that went well over 200 pounds.
Yep.
That is telling you that deer are living longer.
Yep. You're getting into that mature.
You see it interact. We're having mass coming out of heads now that you cannot put your finger in.
Yeah.
And I never thought it would be true in Georgia, but it is.
Yeah.
You know, we've got too much proof in our pictures and our videos,
Oh, yeah.
camera work, and even on our walls.
Yep. Yep.
That we're seeing this increased kill of mature bucks.
Yeah. Yeah. The caliber of deer has went way up.
And that's true. And Stephen, I think there are more things that play into this. I think that we all, quite a few years ago, figured out that if we make our stands where they are comfortable sitting, where they have good shooting rest,
Yep.
and promote, great shots to take deer down.
Yep.
The fact that we have learned to hunt the wind,
Yeah.
and that we've learned it being invasive,
Yep.
whether we're feeding or doing cameras,
Mm-hmm.
it necessarily how many times we go in,
Yeah.
but it may be how much scent we're leaving.
Yep. Trying to be low impact.
Well, we're very low impact, and you see this, but I've got to the point where I take the golf cart just about everywhere.
Yeah.
It's quieter than I can be.
Yep.
I can drive right up to my cameras,
Yep.
not even put my feet on the ground. And
That's a big difference.
And I can put feet out while I'm on the golf.
Yeah.
So you got tires that have hit the ground.
Yep.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
I don't think it's coincidence that since we have started implementing a lot of those things,
Mm-hmm.
that we've seen increased kills of bigger bucks.
For
And
sure.
that our camera footage, which does not lie.
Right.
I think the camera footage really tells you the tale.
Yeah.
You have to get the deer killed, you do.
Yep.
Do
Yep.
we kill every big buck we have on camera every year? No. But we typically get some.
Yeah. Well, out of
That's all
three.
you can ask for.
Yeah, out of three,
Let's
what
look
we.
at the success of this week.
Yeah. I mean,
To put it in perspective, we've hunted in early November, which typically, on average, is probably the best hunting time of the year.
yeah.
And I would say that it's been off
Yeah.
because of weather,
Weather.
because of some other factors,
Yeah.
but we've still taken out 4 really good deer in
Yeah.
the past week.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. Yep.
Two that were top tier deer.
Yeah. Top hit listed. Yeah. Out of the 3 that we kind of targeted, we ended up getting 2 of them.
That's exactly right.
And that's a huge deal, man.
It's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
And when we don't get these other deer that are, genetically strong,
Uh-huh.
we're always thankful that they're still there to put out offspring
That's
for
right.
years to come.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten really good at knowing what a true coil buck is.
Right.
A coil buck can be a 6-year-old acre.
Yeah.
Not way too many.
Yeah.
We've done that this year.
Yep.
But a coil buck may also be a 3.5-year-old deer. That's a 7.
Yeah. Exactly.
We've done a good job of that as well.
Cameras help us with that.
Cameras help us. We're able to come up with a hit list.
Yep.
We are We're very blessed, and this always has to be mentioned, because, you know, the saying goes that your land only as good as your neighbors are.
Yeah. Yep.
And for the most part, all surrounding areas of the land we own
Yeah.
are heavily managed.
Yep. They're conscious of what deer they take.
And that's been a coordinated effort
Yeah.
between me and some of the large landowners that are close by.
Sure.
We've had those conversations.
Yeah.
We've partnered, and it's paying off for all of us.
Makes all the difference in the world.
It does. It's paying off for all of us. But you know that you cannot attribute this to any one factor.
Yeah.
The equation that allows big deer to be killed year in and year out, no matter where you are, it really varies.
Yeah.
And again, we talk about use of cameras, being smart with our scene,
Yeah.
how we feed, how we run our cameras. When we run a bad lead in the state,
Right.
and we do not. If we know it's bad, we do not go.
No. Don't sacrifice a stand for just because you want to hunt that
You
stand.
always got to let your smarts outweigh your desire to go get a good spot.
Right. Right. And that's something we've learned over the last. Well, we've been looking at that for 10 years, but over the last 5 years, we got really
We
strict
got really
about it.
serious about it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. And you know, our kids and the younger generation that's coming up have been so fortunate.
Yeah.
Look, our daddies didn't have deer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we did not,
Hey, Matt.
we did not grow up learning how to hunt deer
Yeah.
because we didn't have deer.
Yeah.
I killed my first deer at 15 years old. I got out of the car and shot it in the field, and I was scared to death.
Yeah.
And that was very common at that point.
Yeah.
These kids now are first getting into it, learning more than we do our first 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
By way of what we've experienced and what we
Right. What we had to learn just getting out there and just making the mistakes, we're able to pass on to them. Yeah. This is old Mike. He's found what, 2 deer this week? 3? What's he found this week? Found Zach's
I would
deer?
say he's found 3 this year.
3 this year.
You know, we've been fortunate. Several of our deer have been drop kills.
Yeah.
You know, we certainly push the high shoulder shot here
Yeah.
because it drops deer. But even when you do that, you're gonna have deer that get away.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been extremely pleased with Matt.
Yeah.
With his trailing. You know, we've got dogs here, even in our neighbors. We have some dogs that are a dog that a neighbor had a few years back. It's passed, but that dog found over 250 deer.
Wow. Yeah, it's
Probably was the best I've ever seen. But it's amazing at the number of deer that we find now because we have a dog who can run blood or can trail blood or win deer.
Yeah. That's a huge
You know, we
factor.
found 2 wall hangers in the past 2 years that didn't bleed a drop.
Right.
And we would have never found them probably
Without mine.
Matt.
Yeah.
So that has helped a lot.
Yes, it has.
That it's well worth that investment.
We've learned to use every precaution that we can to make good shots. I shot a little deer last night that I thought was a cull buck, made a mistake really and shot him, but was able to make a high shoulder shot on him, dropped him right there, but it don't happen that way every time, and it's good to have a dog we can fall back on to help find those deer. But well, we're gonna wrap this up. But again, this is a November trip we take every year. It's always something we look forward to every year. Huey and his wife Casey are gracious enough to have their house full of people, so we have a good time with family. But as we're wrapping this up, you're running about 8 to 10 cameras now. Would you say?
That's correct. I think right now I can say we ran 8 to 9 cameras at all times. since late August.
Yeah.
And
Game changer.
they are. I mean, it tells you so much what the deer are doing.
Yeah.
It lets you know when you have changes, whether the pre-rut is actually turning into the rut.
Right.
You know, we have a big phenomenon here, locally, where I am. And this could change even in our county. But in our area, on our cameras, we get big bucks.
Yes. Yeah.
But once you start seeing that first really mature deer and that first daylight picture,
Yeah.
you know that it's
You can tell it's changing. Yeah.
You know, we don't have the luxury of having July deer that show up in daylight.
Right. Right.
For whatever reason.
Like some Midwest places where they're scouting and watching them in the elk.
Well, and it's all about the pressure of the deer. You know, what are the deer, you know, accustomed to?
Yeah. Sure.
But in Truckee County, it's a heavily hunted county.
Yeah.
So I think deer are a little bit more cautious.
Sure.
And, you know, they hide under the cover of night.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, once we see it turn on, we know it's time, and you start seeing those deer, you know, out of the stand.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to point out here as we're coming to a close, 300 acres. How many this year, let's just take this year, how many shooters would you say that you've gotten on camera this year?
Well, Steve,
What we would say.
yeah, I would say we have already killed 3 really good shooters that have been taken out.
Yeah.
I would say there's 4 other deer that I wouldn't even consider coil bucks that are just really good deer.
Yeah.
That most people are going to mount when they kill.
Yeah.
We're talking 130 inch deer.
Yeah. Which
To get
is,
140 inches here.
oh man.
You know, people love to throw out that number.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, it takes a lot of bone in Truckee County to get to 140 inches.
Yeah.
We also have a deer named Slinky Blade.
Yep. Which is the deer I thought I was shooting last night.
He is a colt. He's a really good deer, but he's not what we're desiring in our herd.
Yeah.
He's a colt. We've got 2 or 3 of those
Yeah.
that we could add to that list that honestly would be a trophy for just about anybody.
Sure, sure. I'm glad to kill it.
So the deer there, when you know they're there, it helps you get out of bed and go.
Sure.
You know, again, we've had the weather lull this week. I think that next week it picks back up and we get some cool weather. And, you know, I don't think that's the defining factor, but I've certainly seen where it plays
Sure.
a factor, especially when you get these barometer drops.
And that's what it's been just about all
pressure,
week.
you know, fronts after the front, those first cold, sunny mornings, you know, deer just move. You can go and you see them move all over.
Yeah.
And your likelihood to kill a really good deer goes up.
Go way
Whether
up.
that's late October or whether it's mid-November.
That's true. Yeah, and I would say that on top of that, you know, number of what we would call shooters or possible mounters, we have a whole slew of 2.5-year-old 8 points and that over the next year to 2 years are going to be deer that are really going to blow up into something really nice.
Yeah, and fortunately, those deer are very protected. And what I mean by that is they have got to go a long way in order to get to someone who will shoot that deer.
Yeah. And that's fortunate for us.
It's very fortunate. And you know as well as I do, we are able to follow some of these deer 3 or 4 years on cameras.
Yeah.
And that's always fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, just when we look back at the history of how we've hunted and where we are now, you know, when you weigh in the fact that we enjoy our family time so much,
Yeah.
this week, every year is an extremely special time.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, your family, the Kurt Walker family, and my family, the Huey Walker family, have always been extremely close. And we have always enjoyed the time no matter what the deer did.
Yeah.
No matter how many we killed. But when you start putting successful hunts on top of that, it is extremely special. And it's one of the highlights of my year.
Yeah. And us as well.
Yep. And we start looking forward to the next one as soon as this one's over.
Yeah. 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 Well, we're wanting to start kind of a little, I don't know if it's going to be a series or what, but Huey started a Facebook page for all of our family that hunt with us called Walker Hunting Traditions. And so this year we've not actually got a kill shot on video, but we have some video of recoveries of deer. And so we're going to put that together, and we're going to share some of that with you. And then, you know, as the years go on, we're going to have some videos that we're going to add to this collection. And eventually we'll get to where we have some kill shots on camera. So it's going to be a fun thing for our family, and then we'll also share it with you on our Ramsack Nation YouTube page. So hope you've enjoyed this. I think it's going to be informative. This is the kind of stuff I like to watch, and I think it's a testament to people who have small tracts of land, and maybe they're like, should I even put in the time to see if I can make this something? And I believe that this is really a testament to that, because you can take 200-300 acres, and if you manage it right and put in the time. I mean, we're going to show some pictures on here of deer that we've killed, and I think you're going to really see that if you put in the time, good things can happen.
There's no doubt.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming along on this ride, and we appreciate you watching Ramsack Nation.